Hi guys, welcome to Live with Vi, and if you like what you see, subscribe. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Today, as always, we'll have Dimple with us live. We're going to talk about something that is very basic with Ayurveda, and the reason why we decided to talk about this topic is because I got so many messages from people asking, what is my dosha? What are the importance of knowing your dosha? Why do we have to know our dosha? So today what we're going to talk about is how eating certain things affects you as a person depending on what your doshas are. So basically your prakriti, right? You have a vata, you have a kapha, and you have a pitta. I hope you guys have found out what your dosha is so that it's easy for you to note down what works for you and your body as per your dosha. If you guys haven't figured out your dosha yet, there is Dimple's website which you can go to at it's pranadimpleJangla.com, and this is a little tiny quiz that you take and you'll know exactly what the dosha is, because it's important to know what foods work for your body. Hello. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. You're a little hazy.
Okay, I'm just gonna adjust my pillow height also 1 second.
Okay. So I was just telling everyone why it's important for each person to know what their dosha is. And usually, Dimple, would you say most people are a balance of two doshas? Means there's two doshas which are more prominent in people, or other people with singular doshas as well?
So to begin with, guys, like Webavi said, it's very important first of all for you to know what dosha you are. Only if you know what prakriti you are, can you know what kind of food to put inside your body,
Correct.
right? That's rule number one. Get to know what your
Dimple,
dosha is.
can you write down your the website so they can look at it right now itself, and I can just pin it, because I had
Yes,
a lot
good
of people
idea. Good
messaging
idea.
me. I did reply to them individually, but I didn't post it on Insta, so it'll be
Yes.
easy for them to figure out what they
I'm
are.
sorry, I just got the wrong spelling. Yes, Babu. Sorry.
Wait,
I'm in an interview. They can see
Hello.
you. My niece wants me to dress her up. So sorry. I just told her that she can't come into the frame because she has to wear her clothes
Yeah.
first.
Have you posted
All
the
right.
thing?
Yes. Guys, check the one that Webavi is just sharing.
Where Dimple, I can't see it. It's not come.
I've just posted it. I think it'll take a second for it to come on your screen.
Okay, it still hasn't come up. Anyways, it's prana by dimplejangra.com to check out what
Yes.
your dosha is. So you guys need to know what your prakriti is so that this can help you out. What foods contribute to you and what foods don't. We're not saying that it's a weight loss or thing. The reason why it's called an Ayurvedic diet is because it helps your body. It contributes to your body depending on what the prakriti or the dosha of your body is, or what the prominent dosha of the body is. Okay, so Dimple, should we
Very
dive
true.
right into it? Tell us why it's important to know your dosha, and also, do doshas change over time?
Wonderful. Good question. Let's first understand what a prakriti is.
Right,
Prakriti means nature of your body. Now,
correct,
just like how your blood group, your blood type is fixed at the time of creation, your Ayurvedic body type is also fixed at the time of creation. I shouldn't even have to add the word Ayurvedic. I should just say your body type, your body
right,
composition is fixed at the time of being conceived based on the health of the sperm, health of the egg, health of the uterus, and the kind of diet that the mother followed during pregnancy. So it's very important for you to first know what prototype you are. So tomorrow, say if you need blood transfusion and you're an O positive blood group, the doctor cannot be creative and say, oh, let's put AB positive or B positive or B
correct,
negative because we don't have O positive, right? You can't do that. The
correct.
same rule applies to the body. Once you know what prototype you are, you know what kind of foods to ingest. That's the basic rule of Prakriti. Now, there are 7 prototypes of the human body based on the permutations and combinations of the 5 elements, which is earth, water, fire, air, and space.
Correct.
There is earth and water that comes together to become kapha. That's fire and water that comes together to become pitta. And there is air and space that comes together to become vata.
Bata.
So you can be a single body type wherein kapha is more dominant in your body type than pitta vata, or pitta is more dominant, or vata is more dominant. The second group is dual body types, where you can be a kapha pitta combination, kapha vata, pitta vata, and you can be a 3 dosha body type. It doesn't mean the other doshas are not there in your body. It's still there.
Correct.
But this
Prominent
dosha is
one.
more predominant and it determines your physical characteristics, your emotional make, your mental make, and also determines what kind of diseases do you have an inclination towards
Got it.
in advance.
So what, how do we break it down? Should we do a brief description of what a Vata person physically looks like, emotionally is, and gut-wise, a Pitta and a Kapha? So, you know, even if people don't want to go online, while talking, they can kind of identify, you know, of what their Prakriti
Exactly.
is. Okay, great. Let's do that.
Let's begin with something very basic, okay? We'll start with, say, kapha. For example,
Right,
kapha is on the top part of the body, and I'll tell you why it's in the top part of the body. Kapha is where earth and water is more dominant.
right,
And earth and water basically is the food you eat and the water you drink. When there is excess earth and water in your body, it leads to accumulation of mucus, which is felt in the top part of the body. Because the
right.
food you eat has two kinds of fluids. One is a thin fluid called the digestive juices, and the second is a thick fluid called mucus. Besides the waste that you're secreting out of the body, there is mucus accumulated, and that is felt in the top part of the body. So kapha prakriti are generally called endomorph body type. Endomorph means they have a thick bone, structural setup. Their structural skeletal level is like made of heavy, dense bones. They have soft, supple, smooth skin. They have dark, thick hair very easily, and they put on weight easily, and they struggle to lose weight. Kapha is responsible for emotions like kindness, compassion, empathy, love, modesty, forgiveness. But when it goes out of balance, it causes gluttony, weight gain, obesity, diabetes, cholesterol, cardiac related disorders, and disorders in the top part of the body because mucus is here. So bronchial disorders like asthma, hay fever, lung congestion, wheezing, allergies, sinusitis, throat infection. So this is kapha body type. And kapha is predominantly sweet, sour, and salty in taste.
Okay.
So to
So what does
balance
that
kapha,
mean?
you must eat the opposite.
Uh-huh.
So the taste of earth and water by default is sweet, sour, and salty. These are the three tastes of earth and water.
Correct.
Since you're already earth and water dominant, the rule of Ayurveda and the rule of the universe is opposites cancel each other, like increases like.
Correct.
If you're feeling hot, you must have cooling foods. If you're feeling dry, you must have greasy, moisturizing foods.
Correct.
If you're feeling heavy, you must have subtle foods. If you're feeling dense, you must have foods that have less density, that are more liquidy. So the rule of opposite says, eat the opposite taste to balance your body type.
So what should a Kapha eat? What should
Okay,
a
so
Kapha Prakriti
by
eat?
default, kapha by default, knock on the door. Kapha by default has an inclination towards sweet, sour, salty foods because that's their comfort food. They love eating sweet foods. Like children are kapha dominant, predominantly.
Correct.
They love eating sweet foods. So the first food a child reaches out for is a mother's breast milk, obviously, which is sweet in taste. Then they also reach out for pumpkins, melons, fruits. Then the next food they reach out for is lemons, sour foods. They love the
Okay.
tangy taste of lemon. Okay. And then the third food they reach out for is salty. Now, each food has a specific role to play. Why are they reaching out for this? Sweet food helps in building tissues.
Okay.
Sour food helps in cleansing tissues. Like, lemon. If you have a chikna bartan at home, what do? You squeeze a little lemon to clean the
Correct.
vessel.
Right.
Yeah, so the same rule applies to the human body. Lemon, tomato, tamarind, and all these sour fruits like sour grapes, sour mango, they help in cleansing the tissue. So some days you crave sour foods because your body wants to cleanse. The third food is salty. It lubricates the tissues.
Okay. So they
So
should eat these
children,
foods.
children should definitely eat these foods. Because children are in the kapha phase of their life where they're building bones,
Oh,
muscles,
got it.
tissues, teeth, nails,
Got it.
hair. Now, kapha, by the way, is responsible for giving your body stability, structure, support. So visualize you have clay and water. This is the best example I give to my students also. You have clay, that's earth, and you have water, that's water,
Correct.
right? They represent two elements. I can't make a clay pot with just clay, and I can't make a clay pot with just water. But when I mix these two,
Combine.
it becomes sticky and it releases a sticky fluid and it helps us in creating a mold and give that mold a structure, a stability, a support, and flexibility. You're able to
Correct.
create a clay pot out of that. So kapha is basically the bodily fluids that binds things together and thus
Okay.
helps in giving your body a structure, a form by building bones, muscles, tissues, teeth, nails, and hair.
But what about
Without kapha,
adults? But what about adults who are predominant Kapha?
They should do the opposite. Now, children should be given what they crave because children are in the building phase of their life. So they should be
Right.
allowed to eat what they want, except refined sugars is a strict no-no because it's worse than drugs. Like we've
I
said this
agree.
multiple times.
I agree.
Okay, me and Bear keep insisting on this. I think if there's one thing that Bear and I really agree on is
Sugar.
the food on your plate is a huge part of your personality.
Absolutely.
Your-
Emotional and physical, both.
Everything, even your spiritual goals will be determined based on the foods on your plate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? So if you're a kapha dominant adult, then you must stay off sweet, sour, salty foods and instead have foods that are bitter,
Bitter.
astringent, and pungent in nature. You should have more of this, 70% of this and 30% of this. What does bitter, astringent, pungent foods do? Bitter food helps in detoxifying, lightening, and deworming the tissues. Like we have neem ki goli to deworm
Right.
our body.
So your bitter
We
foods
have
like
karela.
neem, karela. Correct.
Yes, and even by the ways, leafy vegetables are bitter.
Bitter.
Spinach,
Correct. Spinach. Yes.
celery, cilantro, curry leaves, moringa, they all have a slight bitter taste.
Yes.
Fenugreek, carom seeds, they're all bitter spices. The second food group is astringent foods. What is astringent?
So
Foods that dry up the moisture in your mouth.
like lemon and stuff.
Lemon will come under sour, but have you ever had a kala jamun and you
Yeah.
felt like your mouth is drying up? There's an itchy
Yes,
feeling.
yes. Even amla.
That's astringent.
Even amla.
Yes. Yes. So you know what astringent foods do, by the way, is the reason why models have a lot of berries in their diet. The Victoria's Secret Angels and all of them is because it dries up the moisture in the mouth, dries up the moisture in the body, tightens the tissues and tightens the collagen, thus preventing wrinkles.
Got it.
So astringent foods are foods like blueberries, cranberries, raspberries, cherries, strawberries, red apple, green apple. Sometimes pineapple is also a little astringent. And then of course, no Babu. And then of course, you know, we have the most astringent food is pomegranate.
Okay.
Pomegranate is, that's why a superfood if you want to reverse your aging process.
Got it. So then a kapha
But close
person,
enough?
adult kapha person should have a bitter and astringent basically food plate more dominantly, right?
Yes, yes. And then the third food is pungent.
Okay.
Pungent means spicy.
So what?
And it
Chili?
doesn't mean just chilies.
Okay.
Not just chilies.
Then?
It means foods that are energetically and temperature-wise heaty, which makes your eyes, nose, and mouth water. So what makes your eyes water? Onions,
Onions.
garlic,
Ah.
okay? Capsicum, radish. When you bite into a raw capsicum radish, it makes your mouth water. Chilies, habanero pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, clove, ginger, star anise. These are all pungent foods. Even turmeric is slightly pungent.
Okay. So these are all the
So-
superfoods for a kapha person, basically.
Exactly. So bitter food helps in detoxifying, deworming, and lightening the tissues. Astringent food helps in tightening the tissues. And pungent food basically helps in stimulating the saliva and the agni. Because kapha has a very low metabolic fire. They tend to put on weight easily and they struggle to lose weight. They spend an entire lifetime complaining that no matter how much they exercise, they can't lose weight.
So then basically they have to reignite rather their metabolic fire, right? To lose weight.
Exactly. With every meal, in fact, they must keep focusing. They should never have foods that are cold.
Okay.
They should never have foods that are
So what do you
cooling
mean
in
by
nature. Like
food that are cold is what? So the cooling down.
see, of course,
food.
your frozen vegetables, your ice creams, your milk, yogurt, buttermilk, cheese. These are all foods that are not good for kapha. They can only
Okay.
have paneer, which is cottage cheese, and ghee.
Got it.
Okay? Someone is saying, I have a function to attend. I don't want to miss it.
Yes, all the lives are saved.
I love how addicted people are to your lives. I love the following. So, now coming back to bitter, astringent, and pungent foods. Kapha should never eat foods that are cooling, like cucumber,
Okay.
zucchini. And they should never have fattening foods like pumpkins, melons, and even juicy fruits that are loaded with fructose, like a mango. You know, that's high in sugar. Instead, they should have astringent fruits that are low on sugar, but they have a tightening quality.
So like an apple or even a green mango, right? A green mango is astringent.
Yes. Yes, even parsimon is heaty. You know, parsimon, the fruit,
Yes,
which looks like a
yes.
tomato, it's heaty. It's good for kapha, but not good for pitta.
Ah. So
You know
now,
what happens when you eat food based on your prakriti? This is something I have to tell you guys because I have experimented on my body a lot of times. The minute you start eating food as per your prakriti, the first result is weight loss.
yeah, because your body
The
can break
body
it down
starts
more.
losing all the fluids that it has accumulated, water retention, bloating, gases, all of that starts coming out. Undigested food, uncooked food, unripe food that you've ingested, accumulated toxins, waste that has not got evacuated out of the body starts releasing because the body is now suddenly comfortable saying, you're giving me what I
What
need.
I need.
For
Correct.
example, you have a diesel car. Okay, you purchased a diesel car. The car manufacturer made 10 models of the car and 1 million units of each. He doesn't make a new model every time you go purchase a car, right?
Correct.
He has 10 models and 1 million units of each. When you buy a car, it comes with a manual saying this is a diesel car. Put diesel in it. I'm going to say, put petrol in it and see if it works. You'll be like, no, it's an expensive car. I can't mess around and experiment with it. The same rule applies to the
For your
human body. You
Yeah.
can't experiment with it. You can only put the foods in your body that is advised by nature. Nature has given you a manual saying, Baba, you're a kapha prakriti. Have kapha pacifying foods. Why are you experimenting?
And at least car, you can go get a second car if it gets spoiled. Your body, you have only one.
Exactly. And guys, there's no replacement for the human body. I can't stress enough. This pandemic has been challenging. Just recently, I was attending a school teacher, parent teacher meeting at the Jain International Residential School because I was going to give a talk on how to boost immunity to the parents. There is 20% of the children who are suffering depression as per the media, and it's actually much higher. They're so depressed, they don't know how to do. They're acting out and doing a lot of strange things. And the meeting had to be cancelled because one of the kids hacked the parent-teacher meeting and started misbehaving. And I felt so sorry. If now we don't realize the importance of mental, emotional, physical health, there is no future for all of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's connected. You can't isolate it saying mental health is a separate problem, physical health is a separate problem. It's not that way. It's all interconnected. And this is what Ayurveda says. If you eat foods that is based for your prakriti, that is suitable for your prakriti, your gut is not overworked, your digestive system is
Yeah.
calm, and your gut is controlling your mental, emotional health. Believe me, the gut flora is directly connected to your mind. And this has been proven by a lot of scientists from Harvard, from Stanford, Atlanta, Georgia, Maryland University. They keep talking about the gut and colon being connected to the brain. And you cannot experiment with your body.
You're as healthy as your gut is, and we've read that a million times. But I think now more than ever, we're showing because a lot of people are sitting at home and eating, and they've realized how much healthier they feel. Our kids are not falling sick. Our kids don't have cold, cough, fever. We don't have as many body pains and sleepless nights as we used to have eating outside food. I think the whole mindset has changed.
And what has happened during the pandemic? Do you know the number of restaurants that have shut down?
Yeah, of course.
I know two of my very good friends in London who've shut down their restaurants. Now, obviously, they were serving health foods, but I'll tell you what has happened. The planet is going through a correction phase. It is correcting what we don't need anymore. The
Yeah.
excess is getting removed, and we're now coming back to our bare minimum. Our bare minimum is clean air, nature, sports, good food, and family and love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very well put, Dimple. So guys, okay, so let's get into the next one. So we did kapha. Should we do the next one as pitta?
Yes, Pitta, which is our favorite body type because Vaibhavi is Pitta and I'm Pitta too,
I
guys.
am, yes.
All right. So Pitta, we're going from top to bottom. Now, Kapha, we said, was dominant between 0 to 14, by the way. Children tend to be dominant in Kapha. Pitta gets triggered with puberty, usually in adults. Okay. So it goes between 14 to 40 or 50, 60. But besides that, you have your inborn Prakriti. So you can be
Correct.
born Pitta dosh. And during 0 to 14, you'll be Pitta Prakriti, but Kapha is playing a role, more dominant. And during 14 to 40, you'll be a Pitta Prakriti plus Pitta phase of life. So there'll be double Pitta.
Correct.
Okay. And Pitta, by the way, lives in the stomach, small intestines, skin, blood, fat, and eyes, sweat glands. So when Pitta is in a state of balance, you have great metabolism. Okay, Pitta is basically fire and water, And it is responsible for all chemical and metabolic transformations in your body, like your ability to digest food and convert it into digestive juices, transform the digestive juices into plasma, blood, bone, bone marrow, muscle, fat, adipose, ojas, sperm, egg, reproductive organs, and all the other tissues that you see in the body, like skin, teeth, nails, hair.
Dimple, one
That
second. One second.
transformation process.
Dimple, you're cracking. 1 second. You're completely hazy.
Okay,
And
I
your
think
voice
the connection has to fluctuate. Let's give it a second. Let's give it a second because the connection tends to fluctuate based on the weather here,
but
as we've all experienced multiple
Yes.
times.
But now it's completely pixelated.
Okay, all right. We'll give this another minute. Can you hear me though?
We can hear you. We can go ahead with the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Sorry guys, you might not be able to see me, but you can see Vaibhavi's beautiful, bright face full of expressions because she gets very passionate when we discuss Ayurveda, and you can literally tell from her expressions. As long as you guys can hear me, I'll continue. Aishu would just let us know if you can hear me. If Vaibhavi can hear me, I think everybody will be.
I think, yeah. Oh, there are a lot of pitta. I'm so glad.
All right. So for the pittas, okay, this is what happens in the body. Pitta is the body fire that digests things. So your food getting digested into digestive juices. And then the digestive juices getting transformed into various tissues in the body, like your bones, muscles, tissues, teeth, nails, hair. All of that comes from pitta.
Correct.
Now, pitta is also there in your brain. It digests information. Pitta is there in your eyes because when you see something, at any single second, your eye consumes 10 million bits of information. Can you imagine? 10 million bits of information per second. What your eye does is, or the pitta in the eye does is, it converts that information into perception, into reality. Because you need to know what is reality. Otherwise, it is very difficult to function in this world. Most of us are now
Correct.
beginning to debate what is reality, what is
real
illusion,
and-
right? You're all going through that phase,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right? So, pitta is basically the transformative fire that transforms and digests things in your body, and it is predominant in the middle part of the body. When it's in a state of balance, your metabolism is great, but when it's in a state of imbalance, you have imbalances in the middle part of the body, like indigestion, bloating, acidity,
Yes.
hyperacidity, acid reflux, burning sensation, and diseases of the skin, by the way, is totally due to pitta imbalance. I have survived urticaria, which is what I'm telling you. Pimples, acne, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, urticaria, diseases of the eye like, yellow discoloration, red discoloration, excessive sweating, disorders of the blood. All of this is due to pitta imbalance in the body. So anybody can have a pitta imbalance, but a pitta prakriti should pay more attention because they have an inclination towards
To
pitta
get
imbalance.
these. Yes. So what is
pitta-
the diseases that pitta should, like how kapha, diabetes, and so what are the diseases a pitta person should look out for?
Okay, so of course, hyperacidity, acid reflux, esophageal diseases, because the acids in the stomach
Acid.
start burning the esophagus.
Yes.
Skin diseases is a big problem of pitta. Stomach related disorders, small intestine related disorders like leaky gut syndrome, liver, pancreas, gallbladder. All the organs in the middle part of the body
This
are
part.
usually affected due to excessive fire. Yes.
Correct.
From the chest to the navel. From the chest to the navel.
Yeah. So this is kapha and this is pitta then.
Yes. And I'll tell you this from experience. You should never eat chilies if you're a pitta prakriti.
Yeah.
It's like putting fire into fire, like putting fuel into fire. And I did this mistake this New Year's, like the past New Year's Eve. I was in Rajasthan in an ashram, which I told you I was with 200 women from 50 countries. And we were at this ashram celebrating life and womanhood and empowerment and nature and everything. I ate chilies 3 times a day for 5 days. My pitta kept going up, going up, going up. It kept giving me warnings. I didn't realize. I thought it's cold winter in Rajasthan, I can eat it. I did not count the dry, arid weather of Rajasthan.
Yes,
It's
the
already
desert.
stimulating my
Correct.
acne. And it's already like dry leaves in a campfire. What do you do when you have a campfire? You put dry leaves first.
Correct.
Then you put twigs and branches. So the dry, arid weather is like dry leaves for your Agni. And my Agni was going up. Then one day I had a piece of pineapple, which probably had a little bit of preservative or something in it. It triggered an allergic reaction, a toxic reaction. I exploded into urticaria overnight. I woke up on New Year's Eve with my face bleeding through my nose. My face was swollen like a bee stung it. It was black in color. My chest and hands looked like an acid attack victim. I'm sorry to say, it was completely black and swollen and in pain. I was in terrible pain. And the doctor gave me 6 months to recover. She said it's going to take me 6 months to pull the poison out of the body because it has started spreading everywhere. Once it's entered the bloodstream, there's nothing you can do because it starts spreading under the skin.
Correct.
And I said, okay, placebo effect 1. Number 2, I have a clinic and I'm going to get a taste of my own medicine. I went through rigorous Panchakarma treatment to pull the poison out of my blood and from under the skin. Takradhara, Abhyangam, Basti treatment, Virechanam oral medication, Nasyam. 14 days later, I had brand new skin.
Yes.
And my doctor was impressed. And I'm telling you, my doctor said it off that it's going to take 6 months. It's not possible to recover from such a chronic reaction. So, Pitta people, watch the spices on your plate.
Absolutely.
Take it as an advice from me.
I've never eaten spicy food. Never.
Your skin gets inflamed very quickly. So, Pitta people should pay attention to 3 things. One is spicy foods or pungent foods like chilies, pepper, cinnamon, radish, capsicum, and all of these, right? Second is sour foods. Sour foods is basically khatta foods. Like lemon, tomato, tamarind, even that is too much for them. It's, you know, if you sprinkle lemon into the fire, it crackles. So that's also too much. Third is salty foods. They should not have salty foods because salt is also made of fire and water. Now, just like how our body is made up of elements, foods are also made up of elements, right?
Correct, of course.
Chili is made up of earth, water, fire, air, space, but it's dominant in fire and air. Okay? So similarly, salt is dominant in fire and water. So those who are dominant in fire and water should not eat foods that are dominant in fire and water.
Correct.
And Pitta people are mesomorph. Forgive me. Pitta people are mesomorph. They put on weight easily and they lose weight easily. And you all know those people. They work out for 10 days and there is a massive transformation. Literally, Pitta stands for transformation. Yes, I've been watching your posts.
My body changes in 5 days. 5 days.
Right?
5
and
days.
we put on weight easily.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, we eat little sweets, we'll put on weight easily. We'll start like looking 1 size, 2 size big almost. And we'll be like, oh my God, I can't fit into these clothes anymore.
Go down 3
Within
days.
a week.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we tend to, by the way, have a lot of water retention because of the water element.
Yeah.
And the fire element causes a lot of inflammation in the body.
Bloating.
Organs.
To
swell up.
So what do you do to what foods contribute to Pitta?
So Pitta should have more sweet foods in the diet. I'm not kidding you. Have a dessert every day.
I'm telling you, my mother-in-law told me that whenever you eat dessert every night, you lose so much weight. I said, I'm telling you, my body needs it.
And by the way, Pitta is responsible for emotions like focus, courage, capability, aggression, ambition. Pitta people love sports and sometimes they overdo it. They don't know how to relax. That's another problem we have. We are so aggressive sometimes. We don't know where to draw a line between ambition and aggression. And we end up burning ourselves out. So I remember in the summer of 2019, last year, I was doing yoga in the morning and then I would run for Pilates to join my girlfriend so that I could have some girlfriend time. And in the evening, I would go play 2.5 hours of football. So that was 3 to 4 hours of sports per day. And my blood pressure went down so low that I was asked to stop all sports for 3 months.
But Pitta naturally have a low BP any which ways. Like they usually say, right? Pitta Prakriti has a low BP any which ways.
And they're athletic.
Yeah.
Remember, athletes as such have a low blood pressure. If you play any sport, your blood pressure drops. Number 1. Number 2, you're already Pitta. So you should not do aggressive sports. Instead, you should do something that's challenging because you love being challenged. So something like a power yoga or, you know, Pilates, something that challenges you to get into better shape. And mesomorph means they have a great musculature. They have a very good muscle build. The bones are medium build, but they tend to have a nice lean muscle, sharp features, sharp nose, sharp jawline, sharp, beautiful eyes. And they have like very sharp penetrating eyes like Shah Rukh Khan and you and I. Okay, so they are very courageous, capable, focused. And if I had to give you an animal for an example for Pitta, it would be a tiger, lion. And in professions, it would be your CEOs, CFOs, CMOs, the leaders of the pack are Pitta. they usually take leadership positions.
Right.
Kapha are nourishing. They'll be teachers, doctors,
Nurses,
engineers, mothers.
absolutely.
They're very nourishing. So, you'd have noticed when you were a mother, you were kapha dominant. You were nourishing your child. When you're in your business, you become pitta dominant.
I
You be
was
like,
Pitta
go,
dominant,
go, go,
no
go.
matter whether Vivansh was born, not born. I don't. For me, I'm telling you, I have excessive Pitta, too much fire.
And by the way, pitta people get hunger pangs very quickly. They must eat
Yeah.
food every 2 hours.
Every 2
Otherwise,
hours.
they will have hunger pangs and irritability.
Cranky.
Someone was asking, do they get hungry very quickly? True.
Cranky.
Okay. So kapha, I'll just finish the interview and come. So kapha, go ahead, tick. Sorry, my sister is just grabbing some stuff for her baby. No, it's okay. Kapha can do intermittent fasting for 16 hours. Pitta should do intermittent fasting for 12 to 14 hours, not more than that. Okay, Vata should do the least amount of intermittent fasting because the body dries up very quickly.
So what is the
So these are some
what are the foods that the Pitta should eat then? So sweet foods.
Okay.
So,
sweet foods. Okay, so
Right.
lots of fruits in your diet. Lots and
Right.
lots of fruits. Avoid the citric fruits. You will have a tendency to reach out for your tangerine or your orange or your, mosambi and, citric fruits. Avoid that. Have a lot of sweet fruits, juicy sweet fruits like well, ripened mangoes is great, but it should never be sour. Okay.
What about
so
banana?
sweet fruits is great. Banana is actually unctuous. A lot of people don't realize banana has oil in it. Okay, so banana is not good for pitta because it's like putting oil directly into the fire.
got it. So
But
then
it
what are the
seems like a
foods
sweet
that-
fruit.
Yeah, it's a
So you can have apple, you can have pear, peach, pineapple, mango, berries and cherries, strawberry also, because astringent foods are also excellent for pitta because
Correct.
pitta is water. Astringent fruits will help in tightening the tissues and prevent them from putting on too much weight. So all your berries and cherries are loaded with antioxidants. They'll also tighten your collagen and prevent wrinkles. Okay, so that's pitta property. Sweet foods, astringent foods, and number 3, bitter foods is great for pitta. So coffee is actually good for pitta and kapha. Okay, so those of you who love coffee, if you're vata, I'm sorry to say coffee is not for you, but if you're pitta, coffee is fine for you.
and even kapha, right? Coffee works for kapha as well.
Yes. But remember, kapha is also diuretic and it has a drying, rough effect on the colon. So I know a lot of people who wake up early in the morning and have coffee, empty stomach. It's a big mistake. You think you're giving yourself a shot, and lots of people are doing this to cleanse their colon,
workout.
to get a
Yeah. And-
easy bowel
and
movement. And I'm telling you by experience, it will feel good now. There's a temporary satisfaction. The long-term side effect of coffee is constipation.
Absolutely.
Even though it is giving you bowel movements now, it dries up and roughens your colon and your large intestine so
Lining.
badly, waste will not be able to come out of your body easily. It might even cause fissures in the colon, bleeding while urinating, pain while urinating, and passing stools. You don't want this.
I
So,
am pitta
go easy on
person,
coffee.
prakriti, but I love khatta food. So does
Yes.
khatta food sour or khatta food is bitter?
Sour. Khatta foods is sour, and what is happening with Deepal is she's gravitating towards her comfort foods. Now remember, a smoker craves smoking. Alcoholic craves alcohol. A kapha prakriti craves sweet, sour, salty, junk foods, heavy foods, obese foods. An obese person craves junk foods and carbonated drinks. A pitta person craves spicy, salty, and sour foods, which is your comfort food. So you need to work harder to discipline yourself not to eat those foods more. Right? We need to constantly make a very conscious effort to calm our body down so that we don't gravitate towards the wrong foods.
But if you honestly tune into your body will make you reach out to the food that works for you. I mean, that's what I figured out. I've honestly figured out that it even looks, right? Your eyes will tell you what works for you. You'll be drawn towards the food that contributes to your body.
Very true, very true. In fact, someone is just asking, can we drink warm water with lemon? Lemon is acidic, but the minute you put lemon in water, it becomes alkaline.
Correct.
So lemon is one of those magic superfoods from nature that everybody can have empty stomach because it also alkalizes your stomach and prevents cancer. But I repeat this, don't put honey in your lemon bomb water.
Yes.
You think you're losing weight, you're actually emaciating your tissues, and honey in hot water is poisonous.
Absolutely. We've said that time and again. In fact, there was a kada recipe floating around everywhere on Insta and on WhatsApp, and everyone said, "Oh, warm water, honey." And I kept telling my in-laws, "You cannot add honey to anything hot, anything hot, no matter what
Basic.
it is." Basic rule: you can't add honey to anything hot.
And these honey cookies, honey baked cakes, honey in your green teas and black coffee,
Complete
you think
no.
you're doing something healthy, it's worse than having sugar. You better have
Absolutely.
sugar instead of honey in hot water cakes and cookies and all your green teas and black coffees. It's extremely poisonous because honey releases beeswax and pollen grain into
Yeah.
the liquid when it's dissolved, and that causes constriction of the digestive passages and accumulation of ama or poison inside the body.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
next
that's
we can move on to kapha, which is the lowest part.
no vata.
Vata, sorry.
We're done with kapha.
Kapha and pitta.
Yeah.
We did.
So we understood kapha, you eat a lot of bitter, astringent, pungent foods. For pitta, you eat a lot of sweet, astringent, and bitter foods. So you basically follow the same diet as kapha. Bitter, astringent, pungent foods. You just remove the pungent because spicy is not good and replace it with sweet. So you're having
Correct.
sweet, bitter, astringent foods.
And astringent.
Vata is a third body type. Now, just look at your fingers. I can explain the whole of Ayurveda on these 5 fingers. Earth, water, fire, air, and space, right? Earth and water became kapha. Water and fire became pitta. And vata is air and space. Now, look at vata and look at kapha.
Yeah.
Kapha was earth and
Cold.
water. Vata is air and space. They're exact opposite.
Opposite.
They're diabolic. Whatever is bad for vata is good for kapha. Whatever is bad for kapha is good for vata.
Ah.
It's the exact opposite.
Opposite.
So vata is basically made of air and space. And vata is the movement in your body. Vata basically promotes the movement of thoughts in your mind, your lungs' capacity to contract and expand, the blood circulating in your body, the food moving from the stomach to the intestines, from the intestines to the colon, and you evacuating waste every morning is because of vata. A mother's ability to push a baby out of the body is also due to vata.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's vata. It's responsible for all movements. And when vata is high, it causes anxiety, stress, restlessness, and excessive thoughts. Which, by the way, is 80% of the people around the world are experiencing right now.
Right now.
Vata imbalance.
So, correct.
Okay. What are the qualities of vata? Vata is an ectomorph body type. They rarely put on weight. They lose weight very quickly. They get emaciated very quickly. Okay. Vata is dry, rough skin, dry, rough hair, excessive thoughts in the mind. And they have an inclination towards disorders in the lower part of the body because air gets accumulated in the colon. It can cause flatulence, indigestion, bloating, gases, fullness, abdomen distension, and musculoskeletal disorders because the opposite of air and space is the lubricants in your body, the fat, right? So if there is more air and space, your bone density is less. If there's more air and space, the lubricant between your bones and muscles is less. So you will have musculoskeletal disorders or an inclination towards it, like osteoporosis, arthritis, rheumatism, spondylosis, and a whole lot of other disorders. Even back pain, neck pain, headaches, any kind of pain in the body is also due to vata because vata controls the central nervous system as well.
And that's why
Simple
they
things
tell
like-
us, right? Massage is the best thing to remove the vata from your body. That's why
Oh,
during
God.
pregnancy, post-pregnancy, you have to do a massage almost 40 days into.
And look at this example. I'll tell you this example. Visualize an oil leak in the ocean. God forbid this happens ever again. The fishes die not because of the presence of oil. The fishes die because the oil has blocked all the oxygen.
Correct. No, they can't breathe.
So oil is the only ingredient that can trap air. Right?
So that's why you need
oil
oil
is the
massage.
only. Exactly. And when you're a vata prakriti, you need to have more oil in your diet. Okay, this is a fact. You need to have foods deep fried in good fat oils like avocado oil, sesame oil, coconut oil. You have to have bhajia, samosa, and kachori during this time when you're having a vata imbalance because just the thought of having bhajia, samosa, kachori, or deep fried food makes us happy.
Yeah.
So it actually makes your body also happy. Your body is reacting saying, yes, please have.
So I'm
So
right
Vata
now
should have,
on Vata Pitta. I'm a Vata Pitta right now. I think a lot of people
yes,
have
and
Vata
our Pitta
imbalance
Vata.
right now.
Very true, Aja. So, Vata imbalances is causing a lot of dry, rough skin, dry, rough hair, which all of us are experiencing. Constipation is another chronic symptom of Vata very quickly because the colon is dry, rough, and they literally have stools that are small and pellet sized. Okay? So it's very difficult for them to pass stools. Vata tends to have colon related disorders very often.
Correct.
And pain in the body, anxiety in the mind. These are all Vata imbalances. So all oil related techniques in Ayurveda are excellent, like oil pulling, head massage, full body oil massage, deep fried foods, having more ghee in your diet, having greasy foods, warm foods. Why? Because Vata's air and
Vata
space,
there.
they tend to be cool,
Correct.
right? So having warm foods, mildly spicy foods, mildly salty foods, because salty foods are hydrophilic in nature. They absorb more moisture and they keep your bones, muscles
Lubricated.
lubricated. So you'll have mildly salty, mildly spicy, and a lot of sweet foods in your diet.
Okay.
Okay, so sweet, sour, pungent. These are the three tastes that are good for them. And lots of ghee, 3 to 4 teaspoons of ghee. Do a face massage with ghee. In fact, my skin is craving it because, like I said, I do a lot of outdoor sports now, horse riding, and I'm 3 shades more tanned, which you can't see in the video. I crave my ghee massage. My skin literally drinks up that
Drinks it
ghee.
up. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It gulps ghee like crazy, and the skin loves it when you do a full face massage with ghee. Even a head massage with ghee is better for hair loss than an oil massage.
Ah. So just basically put ghee in your head. What about ghee in your navel?
Very good, very good. Ghee in your navel is also
But that
good,
works
like we've
for
said.
all. That works for your Vata, Pitta,
Yes.
and Kapha.
Kapha doesn't need ghee in the navel because the koshta is already
Then it
very
is,
well
yeah,
lubricated.
correct.
Okay, so if your koshta is dry, koshta means your digestive tract, which is your small intestine, large intestine, and
Correct.
colon, and your stomach, right? So putting ghee in your koshta is great in your navel, and having ghee in your diet. So you can have a glass of warm water with 1 teaspoon of ghee early in the morning, lubricate your digestive tract.
And that is for basically for Vata more than anyone else, right? Because theirs is the driest, right?
Theirs is the driest. Pitta can also have ghee and water, but for Pitta, sabja water is better. Soaking sabja seeds overnight and drinking that water because it calms the fire down.
Correct.
Have you seen sabja seeds? It gets swollen
Oh, correct. And so,
with the
but
water.
for Pitta, if you have a Pitta Vata, then you can do hot water ghee at night, right? Because then that means
Definitely.
your body is already full with the stuff, so you're not adding ghee directly to the fire. So you can do a
No, actually, ghee is one ingredient that's very good for Pitta. It doesn't add to the fire. It soothes the fire. So you've seen a diya.
correct.
A diya, a wick and a flame works only if there's ghee in the diya. Right?
Yeah.
When you have ghee, it actually tempers the fire down to a normal level. It is not angry. It is calmer.
But if you
So
have
ghee is
ghee
great
in the
for-
morning for a Pitta, does it work the same way?
It does.
Okay.
It does. Ghee actually has a cooling property compared to oil. Oil has a heaty property. Ghee and oil are very similar in nature, first of all.
Correct.
Okay, they're both fluids, they are both water dominant, and they flow very quickly, they adapt very quickly. But oil increases body heat. Ghee reduces
it.
heat.
Correct.
So if you have a burn or a scratch, what do? We immediately apply ghee. Even while we're cooking, say if we touch the pan by mistake, we immediately apply ghee.
Ghee.
Chapped lips, dry skin, dry hair, dry body, we immediately apply ghee. So the same rule applies for the koshta. Pitta, because of the fire, that koshta also sometimes can get a little dry or oily. So ghee helps in balancing it. And in fact, Pitta should avoid eating vegetables and dals cooked in oil. They should instead eat foods cooked only in ghee.
Okay. But
You can have-
even your avocado oil and your sesame oil is not good for Pitta.
No, I was just coming to that. I'm glad you said it. We're thinking in the same lines. Coconut oil and avocado oil are good fat cooling oils.
Right.
Sesame oil is heaty. So no sesame oil. Coconut and avocado oil is great
What
for
a-
cooking. Not
so
for oil
many
pulling.
questions.
Oil pulling you consume with sesame oil.
Correct. And I think sesame oil really takes away the moisture in a Pitta person. I think because Pittas have a lot of water retention. I think sesame
Yes.
helps with your face a lot. Your oil pulling with
It
the
does.
sesame oil.
It shapes your
It
jawline, which
shapes-
you experience.
absolutely. Okay.
I'm telling you, oil pulling is like a magic technique that,
Oh
industry
my
has invented.
God. It is
It can do a
amazing.
lot for a person who has excessive thoughts also. You know why? Because for 15 minutes, you're
They can
rinsing.
do
And I remember
it.
making these jokes a year and a half ago, even before I got into the depth of the subject, at Jito Women's Meeting, I said, you should do oil pulling every day in the morning. It'll save your marriage. They were like, what? I said, for 15 minutes, your mouth will be shut. You will not argue with your husband as soon as you
As soon
wake
as you
up
wake
and
up.
take out all your morning frustration on him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I already have an indication from Insta. They're giving me a timer. But for a Pitta person, is alcohol doing, I'm guessing, drinking really bad? Please talk a little about it.
Very bad.
Yeah.
Very bad. I'll tell you why. Alcohol is
Acidic.
subtle energies. It's very bitter. Most of the alcohols that you drink, including red wine, they cause inflammation for a pitta. Pitta actually wakes up with a burning sensation next morning. Their stools are also like reddish, and there's a lot of burning sensation, and sometimes it can even lead to inflammation of your digestive tract. The only thing in alcohol that's okay for a pitta is probably the sweetened drinks like a champagne. But even that, go easy on it. Pitta, I can tell you from experience, I don't drink, but I wanted to try and see what is it that people are attracted to in alcohol. And I tried all of the drinks and I was like, no, I don't think I like it. My body is refusing it.
Absolutely. And when I tell people that they don't believe me. They, how can you not? I'm like, it doesn't suit me. Like I become
The body
red. I have
refuses.
allergies. It just doesn't work for me.
And you think you're doing yourself a favor by socializing, you're actually doing yourself more harm.
Absolutely, absolutely. My God, we can go on and on about this topic. This is
Oh,
fantastic.
why don't we announce a Zoom workshop, guys? We'll be
When
happy
you
to do a fundraiser.
So let's do that next week. Can we do the Zoom workshop next week? Does 11 o'clock work for you? But what
11
is
to
your network
12:30.
situation?
It's good. In the mornings, it's perfectly fine because it's sunny. It's usually in the evenings when it starts
So
raining.
let's do
And this
a
is the
11 to
monsoon period.
12:30. Let's do 11 to 12:30
Yes.
Zoom session. Want to keep it for
Yes.
next Thursday, so that you also have me and
Perfect.
you both have enough time. We can sit and discuss what we should do, what the like subject should be, and what should be the
So, in
topics and
fact,
stuff.
all the guys who joined today and they have a lot of questions, we may not be able to get to all the questions clearly. I would advise you to message when the workshop is ready. Like she will put in a post. Definitely register. It's going to be a fundraise charitable event that I would like to dedicate to Webavi's efforts for all the amazing things you've been doing on Insta. To be honest, keeping
Thank
up the
you.
vibrations of the community. So hats off to that.
So, well, let's do that. So why don't we put it up for next Thursday, 11 to 12:30. We'll have people sign up with you and me, or with you, and then we can take it from there. We decide the topics and be good to go. I know, because
Sounds good.
I'm only reading questions while talking to you, but either we have a conversation or we read questions, because it can't work both ways. So I think this is the best way for them
Go
to
ahead.
have their question answered, right?
Okay, so guys, I'm going to create a registration link tomorrow morning and send it
Lovely.
out to you. We're going to share, charge a bare minimum fee for this workshop. It'll be up tomorrow morning, Dr. Bala Mach and everybody. By tomorrow morning, you'll receive the link. The registration link. Once you've registered, you'll receive the Zoom link with a password. Only those who've registered for the workshop will be able to ask us questions in person.
Lovely. Superb. I'm excited for that. And so, guys, we're going to put it up tomorrow. I will post it on Insta as well, so you guys can then be redirected to Dimple Zoom link. Thank you again very much, Dimple. This next Tuesday, should we talk still more about the Prakritis? Because
Yes, we can continue this
there's
conversation.
so much to cover. Let's talk about how to lose weight using the foods and that help our Prakritis. So we can actually
And
have
this
a
applies for all three doshas.
absolutely.
Vata tends to have a lot of, bulging midriff
So
because of bloating. Pitta tends to put on weight easily. Kapha puts on weight
let's do
easily.
each body type with the foods that they should eat.
Done. Let's do this
Okay,
tomorrow.
lovely.
Let's do this next Tuesday, guys.
Next Tuesday, and then Thursday we'll do the Zoom class.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's always so good to see you. I'm so glad I get to see you weekly now.
It's by the way, it's our date night. Tuesdays are our date
I
night, and I'm
know,
not
I
kidding
know.
you. My PR manager made a list of all the lives that I have to do this month. There are 30 lives, and I said, okay, go ahead and fit it in. She's like, but your Tuesdays are blocked, no? With Webavi. I said, not true.
I'm so glad. How many people message me, and I'm sure they message you as well. as to how much they've benefited talking about us, talking about Ayurveda, what we love talking about. It's like a normal conversation where we would have when we went to Soha House for dinner or wherever for dinner. And now people are actually tuning in to watch and hear us talk about things that we love talking about. That, I mean, how can it get better than that?
I'm so glad. In fact, my manager just joined, PR manager Sudakshana just joined and sent us a heart.
How sweet. Okay, so I'll see you
She's
next
well aware
Tuesday.
of my Tuesday date
Of your
night with
Tuesday
Vaibhavi.
slot, yes. So we see you next Tuesday. We again will talk about the Prakritis. Guys, please know what your dosha is. So it's easy for you to know what to write or learn or, keep your eyes open for. And Thursday we do a Zoom class. Thank you, Dimple, again before Insta cuts me off. Bye.
Lots of
See
love,
you.
Vaibhavi. Lots of
See
love and
you.
light to you and
Yes.
everybody who's watching us.
Thank you guys for
Bye,
logging
guys.
in. Bye.
Hey guys, thank you for logging into Live with Vi. Subscribe to see more videos.